All praise to the Most High, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught us this year part truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect. I wanted to get into some of the proof of the fact and reality that Jake, the modern day Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, as a whole and majority, are still in captivity, all right, to the Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, man, okay? And this is proven through the fact of our employee status to him, okay? And if you're not a straight-out employee, which we're going to find out is a slave, then in some way you're dependent on this man for resources, okay? So, which also makes you a slave to him. You're dependent on him for every fucking thing, ultimately, no matter what kind of status you have. Because Jake being on the fucking bottom, you still have levels to that. Some that have more crumbs than others. But these so-called even self-sufficient Jakes, they call, that are a term that they float around called financially independent, which is basically when you get to a point where you have enough money where you don't have to work for the rest of your life. Okay, even that, where did you get that shit? All right, and then where are you getting your resources? Where are you getting your fucking food and every other thing you need to survive? Okay, so we're indeed in captivity to this day. All right, and then furthermore, Most High had me contemplating about these different corporations that Jake works for as a whole, as a majority in this time. All right, and how they're simply extensions from slavery. All right, from that institution, that extremely lucrative institution that they got their wealth from. They established generational wealth from, okay? Which would seem to be endless, but the Most High is gonna fucking thwart this man's plans, man, of his desire and his thought that his house would continue forever. The Most High is gonna put an end to this man's rule that's gonna result in him vomiting up all the riches that he stole, okay? But this wealth that he got from slavery has resulted in these modern day corporations that you see, all right? All the different plantations that were back in the day are just revitalized and still going strong in the form of these different fucking companies and corporations that Jake works for, all right, for what's likened to slave wages, okay? So, for example, niggas and spics that you see widely, or who are employed at like a Walmart, all right, they work for the Bezos plantation, all right, or niggas who work for niggas in spics, because a lot of fucking spics work at in aerospace, all right, as the young man, the little man on the fucking totem pole, the worker bees, okay, the ones who are actually building the rockets and the goddamn the planes, and the different components and structures for these different aerospace projects, right? It's all fucking the Northern Kingdom, all right. So, in that work at, say, a company like SpaceX, they work for the fucking the Musk plantation, all right, or whatever company that you work for. The owner of that shit widely got their wealth in some way from slavery, all right. And irregardless, they're fucking Edomites in their regime, man, in their fucking power. Still with subjects, what you people fucking fail to realize. Still with slaves and captives. All right. So this word employee, it says slave and employee right here on thesaurus plus. Slave and employee are semantically related. Okay. In some cases, you can use slave instead a noun. Okay, so basically they're interchangeable. Okay, it says the word employee is derived from slavery. Okay, see? What else? It says if you need your job to survive, then you're no longer an employee. You're a slave. Okay. What is the difference between slaves and employees? Let's see. Nothing. We are the one and the same. Okay, right here on Quora. So, and if you know anything about legal jargon, when you go into law, okay, like the legal sector, the that whole industry, okay, and field of study, when you go into the etymology and the breakdown of what an employee is, it's a fucking slave, okay, and it's most the core of that term, all right, which is exactly what the fuck Jake is required to in order to survive, okay. And then when looking at the cost of living, as in compare it to it, it's a form of a rigorous slavery, all right, likening to how in ancient Egypt during the Egyptian Empire when Jake was in captivity, okay, when those measures were put upon them, okay, the higher quota they had to fucking meet. It's exactly what that's likening to, because you have to work more fucking hours just to make the same amount that for you had to work more hours for your money to go as long as it did fucking, just months, let alone years ago. Okay? That is long fucking gone. For example, fucking the rent in the South Bay, was like fucking for a 2-bedroom in 2012 was like 1,400 on average. That whole now like $3K. Okay? So the wages are not meeting the cost of living. And this is fucking globally. But Slovakia, this is primarily here in the Great Babylon. But that's globally the squeeze is getting fucking put on Jake. All right? So as an employee working for these fucking corporations, for owners and ownership, it somehow goes back to slavery, okay? And of course to the elites, okay, who are in ownership of the populace, okay, which is evident through your name, your caps, in all caps, birth certificate, all that, all right? Your shit on the books of a corporation, okay? You on payroll, you're a motherfucking slave, man. Okay? This word emancipation, which happened with Jake, right? Apparently. Emancipation is not liberation. Okay? It's just a transfer of property or transfer of ownership. Okay? It says the act process of emancipating, meaning away. Okay, emancipare, meaning to transfer ownership of. Okay, let's get some more. It says right here, pathos.com. The real heart behind the word emancipate is transfer of ownership, transferring control. Okay, which is exactly what happened. But really, almost like headed to the same fucking plantations, man. They go back to. Look at like a Wells Fargo. How many niggas and spics work for Wells Fargo and their affiliate? You know, owner. They work for the goddamn. No. Let's see. He's the chief executive officer. Okay. Institutional investors. So that's a goddamn that's like a joint operation. And they had those even in the slavery days. Okay, a plantation where you had several Edomites that pieced up. Okay, they that put their money together to form this slave operation. Okay, and then they were able to either branch off or keep that and grow it, expand it. All right, and that's the same thing. You still have these conglomerate, these joint fucking corporations and companies where different Edomites link up, piece up with it, and then they have their, their employee base. All right, goddamn slaves, man. And we see this is evident through the scriptures. This is Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. Who is speaking right here? Okay, what is Baruch? Okay, he's an Israelite. And this is a characteristic for our people, being in constant fucking captivity. And what is evident for today? But we know that time, we're at the end of that time. All right. Well, let's continue. We said, and subject to payments. That right there makes you a captive right off the fucking rip. Going to the enemy and for the one of all things. It says, according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from Yahweh our power. Okay. So, in no capacity is Jake in any other state than a fucking slave. All right. But the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai have come out of that, man. Even though our physical bodies are still in captivity down here, the kingdom is within us. All right. Through the activations of our minds to the understanding of this truth. Okay. The kingdom has been activated within us. Okay, so it's likened unto being made alive. So now only these chains of darkness, only our physical, and that's nothing of a man. The spirit and his consciousness is everything of a man. The body is just the lowest part, if you will. Okay, the most irrelevant part is the flesh. All right, that lasts on a good time around 120 years. All right, but that is going to guaranteed fade away, and is not going to inherit the kingdom. These fucking bodies. Okay. So that could get destroyed no fucking problem. It's all about our minds. What is going to enter into the kingdom unscathed? The only things on this planet are the minds of the elect, the minds of the spirit. That's what's going to remain intact from the destruction of this place, man. Okay. So the men of Yahweh Shai, the elect, the water Yahweh Shai, that he called us. All right, that was that calling. The understanding of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. But our bodies still being in current captivity for the iniquities of our fathers, man. Okay. This is a little part of the curses, Deuteronomy 28-68. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way, whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Okay? Meaning no man shall redeem you. You shall remain in that as a bondman, which is of course a slave. All right? An employee, a servant, or to your enemies. All right? Which we remain to this day. We haven't been bought. Because the Redeemer, okay, when it says right here, no man shall buy you, the Redeemer, Yahweh Shai, that Yahweh is going to send, is the one who's going to do it. It's really likening to Yahweh doing it through his son. Okay, of course. The Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai getting the ultimate praise. And then in succession, Yahweh Shai, of course. But he's the one that's going, the great physician, the one with healing in his wings. Okay, the one that's going to set things back right side up. Okay, from this completely backwards, upside down fucking state that this place is in, under fucking the worst management that this place has ever seen. All right. So the only redemption that is going to come through Yahweh Shai, okay, us still being currently in captivity. It says, there's in Ecclesiastes 10:7, I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon earth. Okay, so a servant is a slave. And we just established Jake in captivity to Esau, Edom. But in actuality, Jake was created to be the nobility, if you will. Jake was created to be they are the princes of the power, and they are created to be above all nations. Okay, them to be the head, and then us to be the head, and them to be the tail. Okay, the heathen nations. But right now, shit is fucking upside down. That's what that's depictive of. Things not being right side up and being fucking on their head. And that's exactly what you see now. Even to the point where who's supposed to be the tail in the relationship is now the head. Okay, in the relationship of the man and the woman. Okay. In what a man back in the ancient day, or even just a few decades ago, would have never fucking imagined to see in this day. Okay? And really would never imagine that a man would tolerate. All right? And that's what it is. It's a weak pushover pussified, broken spirit of the fucking man that has been bound, okay? The so-called strong man that's become a fucking spineless, feckless piece of shit, okay? A sad, fucking pathetic excuse of a man, that the modern man has become, all right, to where we've gotten as far as you can get, as on the left-hand side of how the Most High's creation was supposed to conduct themselves and be and operate, right? So this whole upside down fucking state that this place is at its extremities, man, right now, okay? But as it says, the Most High is the one that gives the promotion, all right? He that will let as soon as it's gonna take this fucking man out of power. This upside down, fucked up way of life that this man has set up. Okay, this is in 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall the end of the first and the beginning, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said, unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay? So Esau being in power currently, we being in captivity, this piece of shit, he is the end of the world. All right, and we see him being in power in this current day. We see this place phasing the fuck out. All right, this world, this age, okay, that it's becoming unsustainable. How he's created life. How you see this man's population is declining. Okay, this man's fucking population growth, right, is fucking procreating. This man's not fucking procreating, man. Right? His population growth is plummeting. All right, and fucking hyperdrive rate. See, because it's the phase out of this man's fucking kingdom, of his rulership. When the servants that are upon horses is going to be set right again. This man's going to go right back to the depths. Okay, to the fucking pit. I'm finishing off in Lamentations 4. And 21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Okay? The punishment of our iniquity was being in captivity to this man. Okay? We just read it through 3 and 8, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. All right. It was done for the iniquity of our fathers. We were a reproach and a curse, and subjects, okay, subject to payments. All right, it said for the iniquity of our fathers. So the punishment for that iniquity was Deuteronomy 20:68. All right. was that captivity. This right here, all right, was that cup. All right, it says, "O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity." That's the punishment of our iniquity, man. And we're coming up to the end of it, and it's evident. All right, with how this whole society is fucking collapsing before the eyes of the people. All right, even Jake is starting to rouse up. All right, this man's power is waning. We see the prophecies, which is most important in the determination of our placement of our location on the timeline. Okay, the timeline, the biblical prophetic timeline. Okay, the prophecies. These prophecies are what determine where we are, our location in time. Okay, in the span of time, how we know how the beginning of times, the midst, the middle of times, and the end of times. Okay, the Most High mapped it out, and the prophecies is that the prophecies is that measuring stick. Okay, in proximity with current events, you see, and through those current events we could see how close we are to the end. The Most High about to roll out these agendas, man. Jacob's trouble, the fucking the calamities that are about to befall this place. All right, what the chariot sightings with that invasion that's being geared up. All right, this place is liking this place being cased. Okay, so we see how close we are to the end. Our captivity being up, that span being done. It says, "He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins." All right, so we're coming up on the redemption and the restoration of the nation of Israel. All right, and really the exaltation of the Heavenly Father, His name to be feared and revered again. All right, and forevermore, ultimately. That as our duty, as our purpose, man, to pay homage to this power. That's what's really going to be the name of the game in the kingdom. The ones that are profitable that He's going to set up, they're going to be profitable because they're going to be solely dialed into Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Okay. So with that, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash.